Part 2 of the Slaaihoek Pass covers the section from the 11th to the 20th kilometer. If you intend driving this pass, it's important to watch Part 1 first, which contains the Google Earth orientation clips as well as other very important safety and tourism information. The descent flattens out slightly as you gravitate towards the valley floor, but the road twists and turns continually as it follows the route determined by the terrain. The history of the Nkomati mine dates back to 1970, when Dr. Louis Coetzee from Anglo American recognized the potential of a magnetic ore deposit on the farm Uitkomst. Results from a first appraisal study in 1975 indicated a large tonnage, low-grade open-pit resource of nickel and copper on the farm. At the same time, Eastern Transvaal Consolidated carried out a preliminary survey on the neighboring farm Slaaihoek and bought the mineral rights for its gold potential. Further feasibility studies conducted on the Uitkomst site showed that mining operations were not economically viable, but the Slaaihoek site turned out to contain the largest nickel reserve in South Africa. There are an estimated 400 million tons of ore, containing approximately 1.35 million tons of nickel. The mine commenced operations in 1997 and is still in full production at the present time. The mine employs about 800 people, but it's off-limits to the general public. At the 13.8 kilometer mark, a large flat open area appears suddenly on the left-hand side, which is actually the football field for the Slaaihoek Primary School, followed by a neat farmhouse. This leads into a 90-degree right-hand bend, with woodcutter houses prominent on the left and a large dam on the right. Be particularly careful to watch out for pedestrians and animals along this section. This point marks the end of the descent, and the road now begins climbing slowly out of the valley through a few more corners. This short ascent tops out after just 950 meters, then the road dips down again into another small valley. It should be noted that there's no cell phone reception along most of this road, and there are signs at certain points which will inform you when you're out of range. If you're riding this pass on a motorcycle, it would be advisable to rather do so in a group, so that help can be obtained quickly if an accident does occur. Cell phone reception is available near the mine itself, as well as close to the start and summit area. A tight S-bend is followed by two shallow right-hand corners, and then the sharpest corner on the pass, which is a true hairpin of 180 degrees, appears. Once through the hairpin, the road flattens out and follows the contour of the steep hillside on the left, then turns towards the south, as it passes a large open area with a drop-off guarded by safety railings. There are extremely large troops of chacma baboons which frequent certain areas along this pass, which is mainly on the plateau region near the start, and they have a habit of scampering across the road in front of your vehicle. Be aware of this and always be prepared to brake suddenly if this occurs. Watch out for movement on both sides of the road and slow right down if you see them. This is a rural area, and there's no fencing along most of the pass. Domestic livestock such as cattle and goats are commonly seen close to the road or on the roadway itself. Cattle that are standing or lying in the road tend to remain motionless until the last possible moment, and if they're crossing the road, they appear to be completely oblivious of oncoming traffic. Yet more corners follow as the road winds its way through an avenue of tall trees, then curves once again to the right. The trees on the left suddenly disappear, and a magnificent view is presented towards the east. There is parking here, but ignore this and continue through the bend and straight on for another 300 meters. At this point you'll notice a small track which forms a lay-by where you can safely stop well off the tarred surface. Not only will this lookout give you a beautiful view over the mine and its surrounds spread out below you, but it will also bring home the full extent of the pass and the descent which still needs to be negotiated. If you look carefully, you'll be able to see the road snaking its way between the trees. On a sunshine clear day, the blue-tinged mountains of the De Kaap Valley, some 30 or 40 kilometers away towards Barberton in the southeast, are clearly visible. Back on the tar, the heading is now directly into the south. A short straight traverses two shallow cuttings, and then the road plunges down into the trees once again. This is the steepest section and the area in which the mine vehicles will be at their slowest speed, irrespective of whether they're going up or down the pass. Drivers should be constantly aware of the speed differential. Be sure to watch part 3 and the final of this series on the Slaaihoek Pass.